Now, folks, listen, we have an epidemic of women spiking inflation and ruining our economy, and it's forcing the world's central banks to take actions. Yeah, you think I'm lying? Well, the Fed has spoken, and what they have to say is, it's a Taylor Swift world, and we're all just living in it. That's what they said, seriously, no joke.
Quote, the Taylor Swift tour also got a shout out from the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia, which said May was the city's strongest month for hotel revenue since the onset of the pandemic, largely due to the Eras tour. Further, Chicago and Minneapolis broke all-time records for the number of hotel rooms occupied while Swift performed there. In Cincinnati, spending related to Swift's tour reached an estimated $48 million, according to the city's tourism office, Visit Cincy.
That's right. Taylor Swift is causing inflation. So as the feds raise rates and deliver pain, blame Taylor Swift. However, she's not the only woman ruining economies. Like I said, folks, epidemic here. Beyonce's shows have been blamed for fueling inflation for the entire country of Sweden. The whole country.
The Superstars Renaissance World Tour kicked off at the National Arena in Stockholm on May 10th and 11th, with fans flying in from the United States and elsewhere in the world, partly because of lower prices and partly out of sheer excitement. And the resulting surge in hotel prices and other costs paid by fans is partly why Sweden's inflation figure only decreased by a less than expected 0.2% in May, according to Michael Grand, chief economist in Sweden for Denmark's Danske Bank.
Beyonce, the single lady, single-handedly moved inflation in Sweden. Thanks for that, Beyonce, said no mortgage lender anywhere in the world. But it's getting worse, guys. So I really need to explain, oh God, I don't need to explain this one.
Barbie shatters expectations with a $155 million opening weekend and beat the pants off the movie about Oppenheimer to put a close to last week's Barbenheimer debate.
So wrap your mind around this one, boys. Barbie is of more national interest than the man who spearheaded the Manhattan Project. And no, the Manhattan Project is not the latest reboot of Sex and the City. My God, our country is tanking and it's all women's fault. You know, because they're slowly executing their plan to take over the world, right?
Why didn't Barbie tell me about patriarchy, which, to my understanding, is where men and horses run everything?
Sure.
I shall seek my fortune there.
All right.
I'll take a high-level, high-paying job with influence, please. Okay, you'll need at least an MBA, and a lot of our people have PhDs. Isn't being a man enough? Actually, right now, it's kind of the opposite.
And of course, yes, in the spirit of this show, it's affecting the housing industry as well, beyond inflation and the Fed. Why? Well, because single women are racing ahead of men in home ownership.
Single women own roughly 10.7 million homes compared to 8.1 million for single men. That's according to a recent analysis from LendingTree that looked at 2021 census data. Why? The reason for women's unequal homeownership vary by age group. Among older women, longer life expectancies are a factor, said Rutgers professor James Hughes, who studies demographics and housing. And younger women who are approaching the peak of their careers earn salaries nearly equal to men their age. They're well aware of the wage and wealth gap that persists between genders, and buying a home is one way they can try to counter it.
So if I read that right, older women are killing off older men, which makes perfect sense to me. And younger women, well, all women, let's just face it, guys. Women have their shit together better than we do. It's true, and we all know it. Now, when you're showing homes or writing loans, don't sleep on the ladies because they're the ones who are really running the show. Hope this helps. So, loan officers, check this out. You know, I talk about non-QM a whole bunch. Well, I just got a call from an out-of-state owner of a small real estate company, and he has a guy who's buying an $800,000 house. He's self-employed. His income is fairly convoluted, but he's sitting on about $800,000 in the bank and doesn't want to use it all to buy the house cash. He's a perfect candidate for a non-QM loan. How many people out there fit that bill right now? And the answer is a ton of them. You should become a non-QM expert. You should be sharing these products with everybody that's not a lender, investors, realtors, B2B partners, family and friends, people who know, like, and trust you, and explain the benefits because people don't know about these programs still. Or you could go the way that most loan officers are, which is nothing less than mass extinction of a species, of a profession, that being us, loan officers.